Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey Carl Krogstad, is Petty Heat and Freeze Louise is not here.
God freaking dang it, he is here. Also, Mr. Sparks said that Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is going in to stay here. Also, I heard that Dave freaking Ross that you hate Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. Flex freaking tape. For the 43rd time since last week, Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise will be stay here for the rest of the freaking mutual year. Now shut up about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise, or else I'm calling Maury Povich to see what happened about you talking about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. You got it?
But Carl Krogstad, please, make Petty Heat and Freeze Louise go away and replace with Leopold Slick.
No, we're not gonna replace with Leopold Slick. Also, Dave freaking Ross said that Leopold Slick is an angry German kid, smashing his keyboard, yelling at the freaking mutual computer, and he's screaming like a freaking monkey. Flex freaking tape. For the 44th time since the last week's episode, Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise will be stay here for the rest of the freaking mutual entire freaking year. Now shut up about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise, or else you will be watching Flex Tapes Anger Episode 3. Flex Tapes returns over and over and over again. You got it?
But Carl Krogstad, Petty Heat and Freeze Louise is so boring. Please Carl Krogstad, I want you to call Mr. Sparks to send Petty Heat and Freeze Louise to the principal's office. I promise it will be good.
Flex freaking tape. We're not gonna call Mr. Sparks to send Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. Also, the principal said that Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is going to stay here for the rest of freaking mutual year. That's so freaking it. For talking about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise, you're freaking neutral grounded until Peppa Pig is cancelled. Leave Dave freaking Ross, leave Sir Joseph, leave the captain of the Pinafore, also known as whatever, well, hardly ever, leave Ludwig and Lisette and Julia, leave Ralph freaking Rackstrong, leave Court Mike, and leave Petty freaking heat and freeze freaking Louise. Go to your room right now or else Ludwig will appear in your room.
How about you can replace with Barney the dinosaur? Also, Barney the dinosaur is a good dinosaur. Can you replace it?
PBS Kids to replace with Barney the Dinosaur. Also, Barney and Friends has been cancelled in November 2010. And also, Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise will be to stay here for the rest of the year. That's so freaking it. For talking about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise, you're freaking grounded until Easter. Leave Dave freaking Ross, leave Christopher Wade, leave Court Mike, leave Jerry Seinfeld, leave Ludwig and Lisette and Julia, leave Tom freaking Mutual Cox, and leave Petty freaking heat and freeze freaking Louise. Go to your room right now. I hope you learned your lesson for talking about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
Hey Carl Krogstad, can you call the Special Victims Unit?
Flex freaking civilization is the limitless multiplication of unnecessary necessities tape. We're not gonna call the Special Victims Unit to arrest Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. Also, it's going to stay here for the entire freaking year. That's so freaking it. For talking about the special victims unit to arrest petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. You're freaking neutral grounded until Amazon Prime Video is shut down. Now go to your room right now, and leave petty freaking heat and freeze freaking Louise. God freaking dang it.
Hey Carl Krogstad, is One Direction is dead?
God freaking dang it, he is not dead. Also, the God said that One Direction is not dead. Also, Court Mike said that One Direction is not dead. And if you talk about One Direction one more time, I'll grab a chainsaw and kill you. You got it?
I have one question, is One Direction has COVID?
No. One Direction didn't have COVID. Also, the doctor said that One Direction didn't have COVID. That's so freaking it. You know the rest. You're freaking grounded for an additional 5 years. Leave One Direction alone or else.
Or else what?
Or else, I'll let Ludwig and singing Yes Ludwig and Julia are mated.
No Carl Krogstad, please don't let Ludwig and singing Yes Ludwig and Julia are mated. Please Carl Krogstad, can you tell Dave Ross and give Ludwig and Lisa and Julia a last chance, please?
That's so freaking it. Since you're talking about Ludwig and Lisa and Julia, I'm going to ground you for an additional 61917364827483932585552 freaking years. Leave Ludwig and Lisa and Julia alone. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
Hey Carl Krogstad, I have some good news for you. Ludwig and Lisa and Julia is now arrested.
Flex freaking tape. I had enough of you talking about Ludwig and Lisa and Julia. As for you Flex tape, for talking about Ludwig and Lisa and Julia, you're freaking grounded until April 2023. Oh, I forgot one thing. You're now grounded for another 619278384646464834277755552 years. Go to your room right now. I'm telling Court Mike about this. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
Hey Carl Krogstad, is Petty Heat and Freeze Louise is sick?
God freaking dang it, he is not sick. Also, the doctor said that Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is not sick. Also, he didn't have COVID. He didn't have the common freaking neutral cold. He didn't have the freaking flu. He didn't have the freaking stomach freaking neutral flu. Flex freaking tape. For the 45th time since March 12, 2023, Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is gonna stay here for the rest of the super duper mega ultra extremely entire freaking year. Now shut up about Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise. You got it?
Krogstad, please. Make Petty Heat and Freeze Louise sent to Spain, I promise it.
No, I'm not gonna send Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise to Spain. Also, the principal said that Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is not in freaking neutral Spain. And also, Maury Povich said that Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is not in Spain because if he's going to Spain, Mr. Sparks will not be very happy. Flex freaking tape. For the 46th time since March 12, 2023, Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is going to stay here for the rest of the freaking entire year. Now shut up about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, or else I'm calling the cops on you, and you're going to get executed. You got it?
But Carl Krogsted, please. Make Petty Heat and freeze Louise to Cuba. I promise it will be good.
No, I'm not gonna send petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, to Cuba. Also, Mr. Sparks said that petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is not in Cuba. And also, Dave freaking Ross said that petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is not in Cuba because if he's going to Cuba, he will get suspended from Hero freaking neutral elementary. That's so freaking it for talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. You're grounded for the rest of the spring. Leave Dave freaking Ross, leave Court Mike, leave Maury Povich, leave the Lord High Executioner, leave Sir Joseph, leave Ralph Rackstrong, and leave petty freaking heat and freeze freaking Louise. Go to your room right now. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
Carl Krogsted, for the 47th time, I want you to send Petty Heat and freeze Louise to China. I promise when Petty Heat and freeze Louise is gone for the rest of the spring.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut your freaking neutral mouth. Flex Tape. I'm not gonna send petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, to China. Also, Dave freaking Ross said no. Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is not in China because of the coronavirus since 2020. You better shut your mouth or else I will grab a chainsaw and kill you if you don't stop talking petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. You got it?
Hey Carl Krogsted.
What do you want? Flex freaking Tape.
Is Ludviga and Lisa and Julia is in solitary confinement? Get it? Solitary confinement?
No, Ludwig and Lisa and Julia is not in solitary confinement. Also, Christopher Ray said that Ludwig and Lisa and Julia is not in solitary confinement. And also, Court Mike said that Ludwig and Lisa and Julia is going to stay here. That's so freaking it for talking about Ludwig and Lisa and Julia. You're grounded until Khalid Ahmed turns 18 years old since October 28, 2005, and he's gonna get his driver license. Leave Ludwig and Lisa and Julia alone. Do you hear me? Leave Ludwig and Lisa and Julia. Now go back to your room right now or else One Direction will singing what makes you beautiful and loud volume.
Hey Carl Krogsted.
What do you want? Flex freaking Tape.
Can you send Petty Heat and freeze Louise to Italy?
Flex freaking Tape. We're not gonna send petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, to Italy. Also, it's going to stay here for the rest of the freaking year. That's so freaking it for talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. You're grounded until Khalid Ahmed Productions gets terminated. Oh, I almost forgot. I heard that Court Mike that you were talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. It's just a character. It's not scary. It's not creepy. Also, you're now grounded for another 5 freaking months. Now go to your room right now. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
How about you can replace with John Wayne?
No man with the yellow hat, no the money supermarket bull, no JT Turner, no Leopold Slick, no Barney the dinosaur, no Arthur Reed, no Penn and Teller, no Mr. Burns and Smithers, no George Washington, no John Adams, no Thomas Jefferson, no Franklin D. Roosevelt. We have petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. Not replacing characters and villains, etc. Also no John Wayne as well. John Wayne died on June 11, 1979 at the age of 72. Oh, I'll look up the button. coronavirus is ended. Also, you're still grounded for talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. Leave Dave freaking Ross, leave Maury Povich, leave Benny Bobbles, leave Mr. Sparks, leave Stevie Heat, leave Christopher Ray, leave Dr. in the Doorman, leave AJ Gadgets, leave Tom Cox, leave Ron Howard, leave Matt Damon, and for talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, I will grab a chainsaw and kill you. Be prepared for the chainsaw.
My flex tape, what happened to my room, and what happened to your room, tell me.
Well, flex tape, you talking about PD freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease. Louise and Carl Krogstad, you chainsaw flex tape, and also, this is your cell. You will be stayed here for 1 year, and if I see you both of you escaping the prison, you will get executed. Goodbye.
Carl Krogstad, I'm sorry for grounding me, chainsaw me, yelling. I'm sorry, Carl Krogstad. Please forgive me, I promise it will be good.
So that's what happens when you're talking about PD freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease, flex freaking tape, for the 40th time, since March 12, 2023, PD freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease, will be stayed here for the rest of the year. That's so freaking for talking about PD freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease, you're grounded until Smash Now is going to Spain. Also, you're not grounded for an additional 3,000 years. Leave Big freaking Ross, leave London and Lisa and Julia, leave Arthur Reed, leave the captain on the pinafore, leave St. Joseph Porter, KCB, leave Coach Mike and leave PD freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease. Now no to sleep. I'm going to say it again. No to sleep, no to sleep, no to sleep, no to sleep, no to sleep. Up.
Hey Carl Krogstad, is Petty Heat and Freeze Louise's in boarding school?
God freaking dang it, he is not in boarding school. Also, Superintendent Mark said that petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is not in boarding school. Also, I heard that Court Mike that you hate petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. Flex freaking tape. For the 49th time since the last video, petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is gonna stay here, and she's not going to anywhere. Now shut up about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, or else I'm gonna call the police on you since the last video. You got it?
But Carl Krogstad, please, make Petty Heat and Freeze Louise to removed.
No means no. Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is going to stay here, and it's not removed yet until 2104. Also, if you not know when Court Mike when you're talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, flex freaking tape. For the 50th time since the last video, petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is going to stay here. And if you're talking about the Team Tornado one more time, you're going to get arrested by the police. You got it?
But Carl Krogstad, please, make Petty Heat and Freeze Louise to erase it. I promise it will be good.
No, we're not gonna erase petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. Flex freaking tape. How many times do I have to tell you? Petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, is going to stay here for the rest of the freaking rubbish you. That's so freaking it. For talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, you're grounded until 2105. Now go to your room right now. Scary Flex Tape Medical.
How about you can kidnap Petty freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise?
No, we're not gonna kidnap petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise. Also, it's going to stay here for the rest of the trashy, disgusting garbage you. That's so freaking it. For talking about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural natural disease, Louise. You're grounded for 25 years. Leave petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease, Louise, alone. Scary flex tape medical.
Hey Carl Krogstad, can you call the security to send Ludwig and Lisa and Julia to the security office? I promise it will be good.
No, I'm not gonna call the security to send Ludwig and Lisa and Julia to the security office. Also, the security said that Ludwig and Lisa and Julia is going to stay here. That's so freaking it for talking about Ludwig and Lisa and Julia. You're grounded for 47 years. Leave Ludwig and Lisa and Julia alone. Scary flex tape medical.
Hey Carl Krogstad, is petty heat and freeze Louise has peanut allergy?
God freaking dang it, he didn't have a peanut allergy. Also, the doctor said that petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise didn't have a peanut allergy. Flex freaking let us forget that government is ourselves and not an alien power over us. The ultimate rulers of our democracy are not a president and senators and congressmen and government officials, but the voters of this country. Tape. For the 51st time since the last video, petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise is going to stay here. Now shut up about petty freaking neutral heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise, or else you will get the strike. You got it?
Hey Carl
What do you
Krogstad,
want, flex freaking tape? What do you want me to do?
is Lance Armstrong is coming?
The answer is freaking no. Lance Armstrong wasn't coming back. Also, PBS removed Lance Armstrong because of the 3 copyright strikes by PBS. Also, Mark Brown said that Lance Armstrong wasn't coming back. That's so freaking it. For talking about Lance Armstrong, you're grounded until Rick and Morty gets your new voices until season 7, which means Justin Roiland was arrested in January 2023. Also, PD freaking neutral healing freeze freaking natural disease is going to stay here, not Lance Armstrong. Now go back to your room. Scary flex tape medical.
But Carl Krogstad, petty heat and freeze Louise is a scary character. Please Carl Krogstad, make petty freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise going away. I promise it will be good.
Flex freaking cancer affects nearly everyone in some way. We hope that the super episode will empower kids, family and caregivers to talk about all the feelings that can come up when a loved one has cancer, and how they can work together and remain positive and hopeful through difficult times. How many times do I have to tell you? PD freaking mutual healing freeze freaking natural disease is going to stay here. That's so freaking it. For talking about PD freaking mutual healing freeze freaking natural disease, you're grounded until 2023 will soon be over. Go to your room right now. Scary flex tape medical.
Please, Carl Krogstad, make petty freaking mutual heat and freeze freaking natural disease Louise going away. It's so scary and creepy.
For the last time though, PD freaking growing up, where I grew up, we looked to athletes. They were our first heroes. They came from the same place as we came from. I mean, you can't watch TV and see someone who is successful that you can't really relate to. That person isn't real, he doesn't exist. But athletes traveling the world, and being in houses, and gave their families a better life feeling freeze freaking, as things are, and as fundamentally we must always be. Poetry is not a career, but a month's game. A lost poet can't ever feel quite sure of the permanent value of what he has written. He may have wasted his time and messed up his life for nothing, but he's going to stay here for talking about PD freaking mutual healing freeze freaking natural disease Louise. You're grounded until 2024. Also, you're still grounded for talking about PD freaking mutual healing freeze freaking natural disease Louise. Go to your room right now. God freaking dang it.